Hi everyone, this is Meryl. I am your librarian. I put this video together to walk you through how to search for peer-reviewed journal articles as well as local news articles for your research assignment. So regardless of whether you've chosen option 1 or option 2, this video should give you some tips for that. With option 1, you need to have at least 3 to 4 of your sources need to be from a peer-reviewed journal, and for option 2, just one of them needs to be from a peer-reviewed journal. But that is where we're going to start. So we're on your resource guide, and we're going to go over to this tab right here, peer-reviewed journal articles. And what I've linked up here are the titles of communication journals, some of which are found in the library databases, some of which have some of their articles available for free on the web, and these we call open access. So you'll also see any of the titles of the journals that I have these asterisks. These are journals that are recommended by your instructor, so I would suggest starting there. The reason you want to focus on these journals and not just do some general searching is because you want to make sure that you are searching for articles that are rooted in your subject area, your discipline, which is communication studies, and these are all communication journals. So let's start with looking at the ones that we'll find in our library databases, and I recommend that that's where you start. So let's look at the second one, Mass Communication and Society. So I'm going to click on it, and because we are off campus, you're going to need to log in with your username as your student ID number. Ignore that, staff and faculty are different. You will use your student ID number as your username, and then your whatever password you've set up in Canvas. And then go ahead and log in. And this is going to take us to the page in the library database that for Mass Communication Society. So this is not an article, this is the name of the journal. And what we're going to do now is search within the journal for articles. And there's different ways to do it. You can certainly click on a particular issue and then browse through it. It's not the most efficient way to search, but it is one way to search. The best way to approach this is to go to this link, search within this publication, and click on that. And that's going to take us to a search screen, and you can see in the first box this tells us I'm searching in the journal Mass Communication and Society, and then I can add any other keywords that I want in order to give us a focus to my article, to the kind of article that I want. So let's say I want to look for anything with agenda setting theory. So I'm just going to type in agenda setting theory. I'm going to do a search. And I got 24, which is a nice, easy number to look through. And all of these, you'll see the full text is linked up because I only sent you to journals that have the full text available. That means the full article is available online. And you can scroll through this list and see if there's anything that jumps out at you. Let's just look quickly. Let's look at number 6. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And this is the article. You see it has all these important pieces of information that you need. You have the title of the article right here. We have our authors, and this is the name of the journal. Remember, that's where we search. We're only in that journal. We're not looking past or beyond the journal. We have some subject terms here, which might be helpful, and then we have an abstract, which is a summary of the article. And you will see over here on the side is the full text of the article. And all of the journals that I have linked up are ones that should only give you the full text of the article, and that's what you need. Remember, you might stumble on some journal articles that have just the abstract, and you cannot do your research from an abstract. You must have the article. And then when you're in the database here, there's a lot of different tools. So let's say we want this article. I can email it to myself, which you might want to do as a way to keep track of some of your articles, put them in a folder in your email account. You could print it if you want to have a hard copy, of course. And then also this is a nice feature, you can click on this and it will automatically download the article into your Google Drive. So if you use any of the Google tools, that's a great feature. So that's how you search within a journal in our databases. And I'll just show you one other one, which it works the same way. The interface is slightly different because it's a different database. That was EBSCO, this is ProQuest. But you can see here's the here's the record for the journal itself, and then you have this box down here, search within the publication. And then you could put in your keywords or your terms and do a search. Again, you can also browse through specific issues. Okay, so that's using the library databases. If you want to look on the web and to see if you can locate any open access articles, you can, these are listed in this box, and you'll have to do a little different kind of searching for that. Let's take a look at communication monographs. So when you're in this is the web page for Communication Monographs, which is a communication journal, as you can see here. And you can see here subscribe, which means the majority of these articles do require a subscription, which means you have to pay. We don't want you to pay for any articles for your project. So again, we're going to limit our searches to only those articles that we can get for free. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to do, again, let's do agenda setting theory. Can certainly use different terms in there, but I'm just working with one of the theories. And then we got 142, so that's certainly a lot. But the most important piece here is access type. So if you click on this one, only show open access, and you'll see we got no articles. So that means in this journal there are no articles that are freely available to you. So that's not very helpful. You can try some of these other ones. We could have tried certainly different words. Actually, let me go back just to show you quickly. Let's see, let me just be a little more general here. Let's try gender and media. And again, open access only, and we still got nothing. So this is, I'm showing you this because it's fine to search these, but you are going to have a better chance at finding a full text article for free if you start in the databases. I do believe media and communication, this one is completely open access now, so it's in both our databases, but you can also search on their site. But as you can see here, it says open access, so all of these articles should be free. Okay, so that's searching within the journals themselves. You also, of course, can search in any one of our multidisciplinary databases. So when I say multidisciplinary, these will be databases that have journals and magazines and newspapers from all subject areas, all topics, and they're not going to be specific to your area of study. But if you do want to search in there, let's say you just don't find what you want in any of these in the specific journals, you can go ahead and let's look at Academic Search Premier. This is EBSCO, like this is what we were in before. And if you do want to search in here, I'd make the suggestion that one way to focus, so at least you end up in journals that are somehow related to communication and it's not completely open-ended. If you change this field option to subject terms, the databases are organized by fields, and so within the field of subject, it's going to search for communication. And the reason you might want to do that is because that means that the article, at least one of its main subjects, will be communication, as opposed to it just being the word communication mentioned throughout the article. So it's one way to make sure that you're at least getting something that has a pretty strong communication studies focus. And then, of course, you can add another, and I'm going to do different in here. I'm going to go gender, and I'm going to just do media. And then if we scroll down here, this is important. If you're in the databases, generally you want to click on peer review and you want to click on full text. And let's see what this gets us. Okay, so we got 120, not bad. And then you can browse through some of the titles. And let's just grab this first one. And this looks like it certainly might be something interesting, even though, again, it's not from a communication studies journal. It's from a journal called Sex Roles, but it does talk about communication. It does talk about mass media, so it might be something that would still fit in with the concept, one of your concepts that you're exploring, and you can, again, see the same features. So those are the databases. Those are the different ways to search for peer-reviewed journal articles. I now want to very briefly jump over to do very quick show you how to search for newspapers and magazine articles. This would be if you're doing option 2 particularly, where you need to have 3 to 4 local credible news articles. And you can see here again, I've divided up. I have some from the local news that you can access through the library databases. I've also linked up their websites, and same for national. I'll very quickly show you with, let's say you want to look at the Seattle Times. And when you're searching for the news articles, you're not going to be using terms like agenda setting theory, because those are words that will not be used in a news article, right? Those are not commonly used words. So here you're going to definitely be more general. And for this option 2, you want to be looking at a problem. And I'm just going to search very quickly on community colleges and budget, which is certainly going to be a massive issue. It's always an issue, and it's even going to be a bigger issue as we go forward, given both the health and economic crisis that we're in right now. So there you can see these articles will only be from the Seattle Times. Very easy to use, simple little keyword searches. Click on the first article, and there you can see an article which talks about colleges and universities and trying to deal with a budget crunch and a financial upheaval. And you have the same features. You can email it to yourself, you can print it, you can download it. So easy to use, same for all of these. These are our general databases, and again, their websites on their websites on the open web. One reason I would suggest that you look at the databases is because for most of these, definitely the Seattle Times, New York Times, the Atlantic, and the Washington Post, they will allow you a certain number of free articles, and then they will say that you need to subscribe in order to access more. I think it's usually in the 6 to 10 article range. So you can certainly start there, and then when you hit that paywall where they're going to ask you to pay, go into the databases. So for example, you can start on the Seattle Times website. If you then hit the paywall, go into the databases just like I did and search there. Same for the New York Times. That's one reason we have the databases, is to ensure that you can still access the content. You won't get the same interactivity, like if there's videos or hyperlinks, things like that. You won't see those in the databases like you would if you were on the open web, but the content will be there, okay? So that's how you use the library databases, and again, consider using them, particularly if you run up against the paywall. So I think that is it. I'm sorry if I went on a little long. I just wanted to make sure I got all the information that you needed. And if you have any questions at any point while you're working on your research project, please contact me. Here's my email. Happy to help you. Set up a time we could meet face-to-face on Zoom, or you can shoot me an email and I'll respond to you, and we can work over email, whichever works better for you. But please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions or need any help. Okay? Thanks for listening.